Hello and welcome to day 17 of my solve for the Exit the Game advent calendar, the Intergalactic Race. I'm Dr. Gareth Moore, I'm a puzzle and brain training author, but in this video I'm just looking at this calendar, I'm not writing anything. Right, 17th of December, let's see what the story is. You did it! You watched the planet Whamaram disappear from sight in the rear view mirror. Claus pulls broccoli out of his ears, visibly relieved. Then he runs his fingers thoughtfully through his ever-growing beard. Do you know what time it is? He asks. You look around for a clock and discover a variety of digital time displays. Apparently they represent the local times of the different time zones in the galaxy, or rather, they did once. Several of the displays are currently out of order. Is it really important to know what time it is? You want to know. It is existentially important, Claus replies emphatically. Plus, I'm already flying on fumes and the fuel station closes at 10. You have to find out what time it is. Sighing, you try to determine what times would be shown on the various displays if they weren't broken. You have no idea how this is supposed to give you an indication of the current time where you are, but if you have learned one thing on your trip with Claus, it's that sometimes you just have to try, and the rest will fall into place. There is even an information sheet above the displays. Maybe it will help you with a task. Now, turn the page and open door 17, behind which we'll find one riddle card, P1. Alright, so let's see what's on the back of this page. Okay, a lot of clocks. And it says at the top, each clock shows a full hour. Each time from 1 AM to 12 PM occurs exactly once. The green diodes are still intact. Okay, and there's lots of letters. D, A, N, H and so forth. And the exit standard, a lowercase I, to distinguish it from an L, I guess. We've got a plus here. But I think otherwise, at a glance, they are all letters, and it's always a sun and a moon. Okay. Now we are always every day looking for a 3-digit number to put into our decoder and work out where our next door is. I'm not immediately clear how this is going to work, so let's have a look inside the door and hope that that clarifies things. Alright, so yesterday we discovered that day 17 was here, pretty much in the middle. So let's have a look inside that room now. There we go. Oh, there's some numbers in there for sure, and they are possibly just showing us what the green numbers look like when they're complete. Maybe. We'll have a look in a moment. Oh, this card looks important though, doesn't it? 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock lunchtime. I think it's defining the time ranges for each of those clocks. So there are 6 times here and 6 times here if they go up in increments of an hour. So it's assumed the time zones are all 1 hour long. Let's have a look in the room too. All right, so bit of a strange looking room. I think it's just showing us what the numbers look like. And they're exactly how you'd expect numbers on a 7-segment LED display to look. Well, clearly there's 2 7-segment LEDs for the 10, 11 and 12, but I guess it just disambiguates bits of the puzzle. Alright, so I think we need to focus on the card and what was inside the room. So, what exactly is going on? Each clock shows a full hour. Well, that's fine, we've got 0000 marked in everywhere. Each time from 1 AM to 12 PM occurs exactly once. The green diodes are still intact. So it occurs to me that probably the first part of the puzzle is to work out what time is shown on each clock. Perhaps we have enough information to do that from what's actually here. And then I'm not quite clear why we need to know this, but is it possible? Maybe that we're just reading the letters in the order of the times. Maybe. So let's look at this. That has to be an 8, doesn't it? Because what else could it possibly be? With all those numbers shaded in, I think it has to be an 8. So we've got an 8. I'll write 8 here so that we can keep track. That's a bit more ambiguous. In fact, maybe it would help to write at the top of here what the numbers look like. 0 we perhaps don't need, but there's 1. 8 is of course everything, and 9 is everything apart from 1. Now obviously that information is given in the room, but I can't easily look at the room at the same time. So I think that's an 8. This has to be a 0, a 2, a 6 or an 8. Well, it can't be, well, it can be 8. No, it can't be 8. We can't have 2 8s, can it? It has to be a 0, 2 or 6. We have part of a left number highlighted here, and we know that they're all in the range from 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So this has to be a 1 here. And then we know this isn't a 1, but it must be a 0 or 2. We don't know which one, because it'd be 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock. What have we got down here? What's most constrained? So here, there has to be an 8 or 9, doesn't it? But we've already got an 8 up here. So I think this has to be a 9. So I'll put 9 here to show we've used 9 as well. And I guess as we start to place these, we'll narrow down the options. So this one here has got quite a lot placed. Actually, I think it has to be a 0 because you've used 8 and 9. So I think this has to be 0. Great, well that's not a 0 then here. So I think this is just a sort of set of deductions we're making. So we've got one of the 10, 11 or 12 times here, but of course we can use, as a result, well we can't have 0 here unless it's because the time starts at 1, but we can use 1 and 2 twice in this position here, the second digit position. So we have another 1 here, and then there's only one more preceding digit to find. And down by here, this can't be a 9 or an 8 because we've used those. Maybe I'll just circle these to make it clear they're place numbers. And then what could it be? It can be a 6 or a 5. I think that's it. Is that right? This has to be a 5 or a 6. This is quite a long puzzle. This has to be a 0 or it can't be an 8, can it? So I think this has to be a 0 or 6 rather. So the 7 is interesting because it has relatively few segments. So the 7 has to go here, or I think opposite here. Can it go anywhere else? No, it absolutely can't. What about the 1? The 1 can go, well let's just look at the 1 on its own. The 1 can go here, but it can't go anywhere else, can it? No, so this must be 1 here. So we've used 1, it's not 7. Oh, is this the only place 7 can go? I think it is. So 7 goes here. 7. All right. So in terms of individual times, without the 1 in front, we still have 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 to place. And then I have to resolve where 10, 11 and 12 are as well. So this could be 10 or 12. Maybe I'll write that here, 10 or 12. And this one here can be 10 or 11, but not 12. So I'm assuming that I'm going the right way about this because it's taken quite a while to get this far. But what about this one here? So it has to, can it be a 6? Yes, it can be a 6. Can it be a 5? Yes. And it can be a 3. It can be 6, 5 or 3. All right. Over here, this can be a 6, 5 or 4. What have I not written next to? This one here, I've written it has to be 0 or 6. So let's just write this here so it's clearer. I can then scan down what's what. Wait, I've already placed 0, haven't I? Yeah, here. Oh, does this have to be a 6 now then? Yeah, I think I've only got 6 left as an option for here. Okay, great. So that's a 6. Let's cross that out. That's not 6, that's not 6. Oh, here, I had decided this had to be 5 or 6, so now it has to be 5. And if this is correct, this has to be a 3. Let's just assume my markings are correct, and that's a 3. And this must be a 4. It's quite scary sometimes to trust that your notes you've made as you're solving a puzzle are correct rather than to check again when you come to them. But it'll be very slow if I keep exhaustively checking everything. So I think this has to be a 2 here. So I've used 5, 4 and 3. I'm still missing 10, 11, 12 and 2. So I've got here, 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 and why am I missing one? Oh right, of course, I've marked 0 here, but that has to be 10 o'clock because there is no 0, is there? So then that could never have been 10, that always had to be 11. All right, 11, and in which case this always had to be 12. I made that harder for myself than it was by forgetting there wasn't a 0 time, in which case this has to be the 2s. It's the only one left, isn't it? So I would suggest that because I've managed to actually place 1 to 12, this de facto must be correct, because presumably it has a unique solution. So I'm thinking we are just reading off the letters now, somehow, to extract the answer. So if I change my pen colour, so I think perhaps the point of this is it's telling us which of the 2 letters to choose. So from 1 to 6, maybe we read the moons? So let's just try writing out the letters that are next to the times going up in order and see where we get to. So 1 is G and A, and 2 is N and H. Now my feeling was that we were going to take the top half, the top ones, so this is the sun at the top and the moon at the bottom. I thought we were going to take, I would take the moon to start with. Okay, that's why I didn't see. It's 100 plus 6. 106. Okay, fine. I didn't see that as I was writing it. Right, so we're reading the, as it shows here, the moon from 1 to 6, and then the sun, which is the top one, from 7 to 12, so 106. So our answer for today is clearly, I'm going to say, 106. The fact that I've spelled it out perfectly is not going to be chance, is it? So there we go, let's have a look at the calendar. So we are initially here, and our instructions are to go upright, which takes us to 13, and right again, which takes us to 14, And then up left, which takes us to an unused door, which is a good start with the calendars this full. And we should have triangle plus Y. And we do, which is most excellent because it means that we've identified where our door 18 is. Triangle plus Y, 18. Well, there we go. That was an interesting one because not only did you have to work out what you had to do, up to a certain extent anyway, but you also had to solve the actual puzzle because often the puzzles are relatively straightforward once you work out what to do. But in this case, the actual puzzle was quite a puzzly puzzle. There was quite a bit to work out. As you can see, it took me a while to step through all the options. So I'd love to know how you got on if you've got the calendar yourself. Feel free to share any comments down below. I do love to read them. And if you enjoyed this, you might also enjoy my other Advent calendar solves. And if you enjoyed that puzzle, then you will definitely enjoy my puzzle books, which are full of all sorts of puzzles. Something for everyone, quite literally. On my website, there are many different types of books suitable for all members of the family. So take a look. You might find something for yourself as well. But otherwise, until I see you in one of those videos or you join me in one of my books, then all that remains is me to say take care and goodbye.